Hello, this is a really quick film where I'm going to share with you how to free view cross-eyed stereo images. When I say free view, this is all about looking at the image on your phone and not having to wear glasses or headsets or anything like that to see a 3D image. You can just adjust your eyes and see lovely depth. It's like staring through a window and really beautiful. The basic theory about 3D photography and film is that it's always photographed with a camera in a left eye position and a camera in a right eye position, and they're level, but there's a distance between them. And to view 3D footage and stills, it's all about convincing one eye to see the left eye image and the other eye to see the right eye image. And then our brain does an amazing thing. It fools our brain into seeing this really lovely 3D depth. It creates this kind of illusion of depth, and it's amazing. It's like looking through a window. So I'm going to look at that. And I'm going to show you how to view cross-eyed. Now, there are two techniques for free viewing 3D images without glasses and goggles. There's cross-eye, which we're talking about here, and there's parallel, which I talk about in another video, and there's a link to that down below in the comments. They're different. If you parallel view a cross-eyed image, the depth of it is inversed. The things that should be a long way away are near, and the things that should be near are a long way away, and vice versa. If you cross-eye view a parallel image, it's wrong. If you parallel view a cross-eye image, it's wrong. So you need to just look at the comments. Usually people tell you if it's cross-eye or parallel view, so you should be able to know, but just make sure you spot that. And if the detail looks weird, the things that are a long way off feel close, then you're probably doing it the wrong way around. So it's worth looking into that. Like I said, I've created a film which is linked to below, which shows you how to parallel view. Here's a really quick diagram that shows from above what your eyes are doing when you're viewing cross-eyed stereo images and parallel images. You can see your eyes are converging in front on the cross-eyed, and you can see your eyes are converging beyond on the parallel. It's really important to know what kind of image you're viewing, so you're using the correct technique. Otherwise that 3D detail gets muddled and the objects that should be closer appear further away, and vice versa. So here's how to do it. First tip I would give you is try and view them. If you're going to free view, try and view them on a small screen. So a phone, small device like this is ideal. A big laptop screen isn't very good because you've got to do loads of work with your eyes to get those images to overlap. So a smartphone is ideal for free viewing stereo pairs. And I deliberately add, when I share stereo stuff, I often deliberately add a little bit of black left and right so that the images are even smaller on the screen, so it takes less effort to see that 3D depth. You don't have to move the images as much. So smartphones are a really good way of viewing it. I've got some notes here so I don't forget things. So we've talked about making sure you know if it's cross-eye or parallel view. That's really important. So this is how I free view cross-eyed. So with cross-eye, you're looking for your eyes to the point where your eyes are looking at. So if I'm looking at the screen here, my eyes are converging directly on the screen. But if I hold my finger there and slowly move that finger towards me and keep staring at the finger, my eyes, instead of converging and meeting at that point in the screen, they're meeting in where my finger is, so much closer to my face. And if I put my finger on the screen and then keep staring at the finger and slowly move it towards me, I'll notice the images on the screen behind. It goes from the two images, the left and right, to three images. And at about this sort of distance, it doesn't have to be this exact distance, it's good to work it out for yourself. Suddenly, those images that are on the screen slip on top of each other and you get one center image, and that center image is super crystal clear, and it also has really nice 3D depth. So let me just go through that again. I put my finger on the screen between the two stereo pairs, the left and right image. So I put it right there, and then I just gently pull my finger towards me, and as I do that, I notice that the images on the screen below, as long as I'm looking at my finger, slowly offset, and then sometimes you have to go nearer and further, and you have to make sure your phone's perfectly straight, and suddenly they overlap and you've got a fuzzy image left and right and then a really clear 3D image in the middle. To help people out, I often add little dots above the images. They help you align. So if you bring your finger out and you're sort of aware of the images behind slowly overlapping because your eyes are converging on your finger, if you can get those dots at the top to overlap, and then the trick is, and this isn't super easy and you've sort of got to train your eyes, is then you remove your finger and let your focus stay on the screen, and suddenly you've got this gorgeous 3D image. I'm seeing it now, I can see right into it, these rocks and this lovely depth. A lot of people, when they share 3D images, will put that alignment dot above it, and sometimes people put a little cross in it, and that's to signify it's cross-eyed. So if it's cross-eyed, we're using this technique, and it's called cross-eyed because your eyes converge before the screen. But sometimes you get that dot with two parallel lines, and that's for parallel view. And parallel views is different. Your eyes are converging beyond the screen, so sometimes a few meters beyond the screen, and that allows the images to slip on top of each other. It looks very similar. The two images become free and the center image suddenly locks in, but your eyes are converging beyond the image, and it just means the images are in the opposite way around. Between the two sets, the left and right are kind of mixed up. You have the left view in the right hand side with cross-eye, and the right view on the left hand side with cross-eye, but that's a bit complicated. Don't worry about that too much, but just know that it's about where you position those camera views and which technique. So, and look for the dot above. If it's got a cross in, that's usually indicating your eyes you need to use this technique, and your eyes are converging somewhere here in front of the screen. Or if it's got a parallel, your eyes are converging right over there beyond the screen. So I hope this was helpful. It's a really fun technique. I love stereoscopic stuff. I mostly share parallel view, but some people prefer cross-eyed view for their stereo stuff. And it does have a slightly different feel to it. It's hard to explain, but there's a kind of, the distance it seems from you is slightly different if you cross-eye, and it maybe feels a little bit clearer with cross-eye, and I don't know why, but there is a slightly different feel to it. So some people prefer cross-eye, some people prefer parallel view. Like I say, there's a link below to how to view parallel, and parallels maybe slightly more, the one that's shared online slightly more regularly. But there's also links below to my channel of 3D films, and most of them are parallel view, but there is a new video I've put on there which is cross-eye view, so I'll put a direct link to that video there. I would say if you're free viewing stereo cross-eyed videos, it's good to pause it, and so pause the video when you've got a lot of detail on screen and do the thing where you drag your finger towards you and get them overlapping nicely, and then press play. I think it's quite hard to tune in, especially if you're not used to it, if it's playing, because a lot of detail is moving around and it can be a bit confusing. But if you pause, get it lined up nicely, and then hit play, then suddenly you'll be away. And you will have moments, if you've not done it that much, where your eyes kind of flick in and out, and it can be a little bit frustrating. But if you're curious, I'd really recommend diving into this and giving it a go. So I'll be sharing more 3D content in future, so please follow the channel and enjoy the films, and I hope this has been useful.